For those of you who are interested, we have a transcript now of what's happening in the episode tonight and exactly why Mickey is being kicked out of the Big Brother house. Now, what's interesting about this is we heard that there was a fallout between Mickey and Chris, but it actually goes deeper than that, and there's an unexpected twist here that I wasn't foreseeing and that the trailer has not given away. So let's have a look at what happens, because bear in mind the show's not on till 10 now, so this is what apparently happens tonight. Today's pirate-themed task, all the housemates gather in the garden. Jojo's been given the role of captain and is in charge of steering the ship. Jojo says, "Ahoy, how have things been going out here?" Trisha responds, "There's a rat among us, captain." Jojo says, "Step back in line, soldier." Chris steps out of line and looks at Mickey. Mickey steps out of line and confronts Chris. Jojo says to Mickey, "Mickey, ahoy." Mickey says to Chris, "You looking at me?" Jojo says to Mickey, "Ahoy, you're not the captain of this ship. Ahoy, back up, soldier." Mickey says to Chris, "Don't eyeball me." Chris responds with, "Mickey, it was a joke. Effing." Mickey says, "Don't effing eyeball me, you C-word." Danny and Jojo both try to defuse the situation. Danny says he was joking. Chris says, "Effing stand there." Mickey says, "What did he say?" Danny says he was joking. Danny and Daly are standing between Mickey and Chris trying to defuse the situation. Chris says, "Mickey, it was a joke." Big Brother says, "This is Big Brother. Mickey, come to the diary room immediately." Mickey points to the ground and says, "No, your ass will be right there in a second." Big Brother says again, "Mickey, come to the diary room immediately." Mickey then heads to the diary room. Following a conversation with Big Brother in the diary room about his behaviour, Mickey returns to the garden and apologises to Chris. Mickey then heads inside. Chris says to the other housemates, "Mickey's just Mickey, you know what I mean?" Ella responds, "It's fine, you can be just someone, but be mindful of what it can trigger in other people, because it's made me feel very uneasy." Ella then references a comment Mickey made earlier in the day and how it made her uncomfortable. Later, Mickey's in the diary room. Big Brother says, "Mickey, Big Brother needs to speak to you about your behaviour." Mickey responds, "Okay." Big Brother continues, "Earlier today in disagreement with Chris, your language and behaviour was threatening and aggressive. Big Brother does not tolerate threatening language or behaviour. In addition, you've used inappropriate sexual language to Ella." That's the thing I was referring to, guys, I wasn't aware of this. Mickey says, "Oh, I'm not aware of that, but okay." Big Brother says, "This language has caused offence to your fellow housemates and could cause offence to the viewing public. This is not the first time Big Brother's had to speak to you about your offensive and inappropriate language." Mickey says, "Yes, sir, I did wrong. I apologise. I'm sorry. I can't take it back, you know. I stepped over the line. I take responsibility for doing the wrong thing because I lost my temper and I've been trying to work on it my whole life and I wish I would have had better self-control and I'm very sorry. I'm ashamed of myself for losing it a few seconds there. Nobody got touched or hurt. Maybe some feelings got hurt or maybe others have feelings about others getting upset. But, you know, I'm sorry about that." Big Brother says, "Big Brother considers your language and behaviour today to be seriously unacceptable and as a result, Big Brother has no option but to ask you to leave the Big Brother house." Big Brother continues, "Mickey, is there anything else you'd like to say?" Mickey responds, "I blame myself. I know it was my bad. You know, I've got a short fuse and I know I upset a lot of people out there. You know, and I'm sorry for that. I'm actually ashamed of myself for getting that hot. I went over the line, you know, I did wrong. I guess, like they say, I'm a work in progress. I just want to pack my bags and leave, you know. I wanted to leave yesterday, actually, but I wasn't chosen." So there you go. So he also says something inappropriate to Ella, which we weren't told yesterday, because I don't think the confrontation between him and Chris perhaps warranted him being kicked out. It was guys bashing egos, and I think Mickey's got a short fuse. Having said all that, you know, like I said last night, you don't want people to feel unsafe in the house. They shouldn't be fearing what someone can do in the house. Although I would argue, in the civilian series of Big Brother, we have had some very questionable people who I think are mentally unstable and could have done real harm to the housemates. And I've never seen them be removed in the seasons I've watched. You may have watched other seasons where it happened. I haven't seen that yet. So, you know, I think it's a shame he's gone. But again, I don't want people to feel unsafe. And I'd love to know what he said to Ella that caused this problem. I mean, I can see him making inappropriate comments to women because he clearly has probably been able to have relationships with women in the past by speaking to them in a certain way because he comes across as that kind of guy. That doesn't mean it's right. I'm just making that statement. If you're an 80s kid like me, as I've said before, you will know back in the day, in the 80s, a lot of women really liked Mickey Rourke. I mean, he was a real heartthrob. So I'm assuming he had lots of relationships with women. He probably spoke to them inappropriately back then and hasn't changed, hasn't updated, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, again, yeah. We think it's going to be boring without him. I hope we're proved wrong. Maybe this will give other housemates a chance to step up to the plate and be equally as dangerous. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what was said. That's what's going to come up tonight. If you can all actually stay awake to watch it, I'm sure it'll be thrilling television. But it'll also be television, I suppose, that, yeah, means we say goodbye to a housemate and the dynamic in the house shifts completely. And then we're going to have a whole week now, I guess, of evictions, because they've got to get everyone out, haven't they? It's only 3 weeks long. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found this informative. Catch you later. All of us in our pyjamas, trying to keep our eyelids open while we sit through 10 o'clock the episode. Late and live, I presume at 11. What, and then the live stream? It's so late, guys. I'm getting older.